number 1, John Harrison. At guard, a junior from Arlington, Texas, number 3, Derek Miller. At guard, a junior from Detroit, Michigan, number 11, Malcolm King. At guard, a junior from New Orleans, Louisiana, number 12, Norris Williams. At forward, a sophomore from Mansfield, Texas, number 15, Richard Lemboy. The Tigers are led by head coach James Stafford.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Your starting lineups for this Red River Athletic Conference matchup between your Texas A&M University San Antonio Jaguars taking on the Paul Quinn College Tigers. And on behalf of the Jaguars Sports Network in collaboration with Jaguar College Radio, my name is Cameron M. Caldwell, and I have the honor of being joined on the broadcaster's table alongside
Marshall Best, the second. Jaguar alum. What's going on, everybody? Cam, ready for a great matchup today between these two teams.
And once again, like to thank everybody for tuning in. And we have an exciting matchup. Felix Grief and number 15, Richard Lemboy. In the tip-off, and Jaguars are on the tip. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the Jaguar Sports Network and tuning in. And here come the Jags. Paul Minjoth with it, finding Felix Grief down low. Felix Grief getting blocked early on. That was John Harrison on the block. Here come the Tigers the other way. Harrison with some pep in his step, beyond the arc, letting it fly. Norris Williams, and he was hot last game, Marshall.
Yeah, Norris Williams, he was a real big factor for Paul Quinn when they faced Jaguars the first time. He had 30 points in that 67-66 Tiger win over the Jaguars. So Jaguars are going to have to make sure they hone in on him for this game.
Absolutely, and Paul Quinn Tigers coming off of a tough loss as well after facing the Our Lady of the Lake University Saints. They fell 86-78 in the MBB gym, and leaders in that competition, as we had mentioned, Norris Williams, he had 24 impressive points and 5 boards. Malcolm King had 15 points of his own, but it wasn't enough to hold off the Rolling Saints. The Our Lady of the Lake Saints are currently, I believe, either number 1 or number 2 in the nation for the NAIA, or I believe they've dropped a little bit. Actually, they were dealing with a little bit of injuries. But the Tigers currently 5-20, looking to remain one place above the Jags in the conference if they can come away with this win. And the Jags coming into their last game in the den, coming off of a tough loss, and called for the foul. I believe that was
Jaguars foul
Either
number
Felix
2,
Grief,
Xavier
no, excuse me, Desmond.
personal teams first.
Xavier Brown is called for the foul, rather. And that's going to set Norris Williams to the line. But as I was saying, the Jags coming off of a tough loss as well against the University of the Southwest Mustangs. They lost 67-93. Felix Grief had himself a big night in an effort to keep the Jags in it, dropping 14 points and had 4 boards as well, cleaning the glass. And Filip Radulovic, 13 points of his own, 4 assists. And after that tough loss, Marshall, the Jags sitting at 4-19 in the conference and currently in a battle to get out of last place. So both these teams, something to play for here.
Absolutely. From the Jaguars, we want to see them come out with great energy, not rush shots. Make sure that they are continuing to play defense. Defense is one of the keys of basketball. Defense wins championships. Defense definitely wins games. As we mentioned, can't let Williams go off for 30 like he did last time, so keep an eye on him.
And Ejan Hadasastranya, he drops the first one. Puts the Jaguars up on the board for the first time tonight.
And he makes the second one.
Come the Tigers the other way. Once again, like to thank everybody for tuning in as a big-time dunk. That was number 15, Richard Lemboy. Once again, as I said, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Cameron C. and Marshall B. on the call for the Jaguar Sports Network in collaboration with Jaguar College Radio. We're live from the beautiful campus of Texas A&M University San Antonio, the Student Recreational Center, as we call it, the Jaguar Den. And
Jaguars ball.
here we are. This is the last game of the season for the Jaguars, as they will not be qualifying for the postseason tournament. So this is it for us here, Marshall. Last time calling the Jaguars this season.
Yeah, inaugural season, they had some ups and some downs, but they can definitely build on this going into next season.
And a great block from Ejan Hadasastranya. Sorry to cut you off, Marshall.
There are going to be some players coming back, so they're going to be able to build. Recruiting will be better this offseason now that Jaguars are on the map, and going into next season, we'll get some more talent coming in here, and they'll be able to compete better with a lot of these teams.
Absolutely, and Felix Grief was fouled hard. He's going to go to the line for 2. Marshall, what are some of the positives you noticed from this inaugural season from the Jaguars? Although it was a rough season, sitting at 4-19 overall, what are some of the things that you think are positive? I know every game, it's not like the Jags were blown out every game. Every game, for the most part, Jaguars kept it within a 4 to 10 point margin, most of the time actually leading. So tell me a little bit more about what you're thinking on this season.
Well, they prove that they can play with some of these better and bigger schools, some of these more established schools like Louisiana Alexandria and even a Shreveport, as they were very close to beating them. And they beat, at that time, the #1 team in the nation of Xavier's and one.
Ejan Hadasastranya sent him to the line for a 3-point play. Getting that basket to go.
So they have proved that they can play with these teams. Now it's just about, and they also have a head coach for the future moving forward, Coach Dial, very well known, coming from Our Lady of the Lake, and then starting as this first coach of this team. I think he'll be here for quite a while, and under his great leadership and guidance, we'll see this team continue to thrive going into the future.
Absolutely, as Ejan unable to complete that 3-point play. And if you haven't already, go ahead and drop us a comment. Let us know who you're supporting and where you're watching from, as that jumper is good by Miller. Who you're watching, who you're supporting, and whether it's Jaguars or Tigers side, we're happy to have you here on the Jaguar Sports Network. So let us know where you're watching from. As that little running floater is no good, but offensive board grabbed by Harrison, and now it's with King beyond the arc. Back to Harrison. He's going to pull up from 3. That one's off. Rebound, Filip Radulovic. He's coming the other way. If you haven't already, also hit that subscribe button. Help us hit our goal of hitting 800 subscribers before the end of the semester. And within just 5 months of the inception, the Jaguar Sports Network currently with over 750 subscribers and 400 followers on Instagram. Be sure to follow our Instagram at Jaguars Sports Network.
Got a little breezy in here. A couple of shots ain't falling. A little short.
Absolutely, and
we'll be able to get these back in here.
Victoria, unfortunately, Mr. Journey Phillips for the Jaguars is not suited up tonight. Don't have any official word on what's going on with Journey. Hopefully everything's okay with him. The transfer graduate, veteran guard coming by way of Wagner High School, the hometown hero, if you will. He won a state championship with Wagner, and I believe it was 2020, his senior year. Had a little bit of Division II and Division I experience playing basketball over at West Texas A&M and then at Texas A&M International, and then started off the program here as the captain for the inaugural basketball team. And as I said, hopefully all is well with him. Haven't seen him here in a little bit, but Jaguars trying to manage without him. Xavier Brown. Xavier Brown with it, and looks like it'll stay with the Jags. Foul was called on
Tigers foul,
number 5, Jordan Hicks. That's his first foul of the contest, and it'll send Felix Grief to the line. And looks like Coach Dial is going to be making some changes here. The NC State transfer, Alex Nunnally, is going to be checking in, as well as Antoine Gonzalez. Antoine Gonzalez had 13 points off of the bench in the last competition. Quite the impactful guard. And coming out, it's going to be Filip Radulovic and Ajan Hadis-Astrania.
Yeah, Antoine Gonzalez moving forward is going to be a nice piece for this team. He is a 3-level scorer, can really kill with that mid-range jump shot of his. I know going into the off-season, if he does stay,
great catch and shoot right there from Derek Miller, nothing but nylon.
It'd be great to have for the upcoming season. Miller is starting to heat up. He is not taking it light. Miller is not taking it light on this.
Absolutely, that catch and shoot right there, and Xavier Brown gets that one stripped. And basket going the other way. That was good by King.
A little bit of a rough start for the Jaguars. See if they can settle it down and start getting a couple of good shots and taking care of the ball. As we have Joshua Larry coming in.
Joshua Larry.
For Paul Minjoff. Larry's a nice spark plug to have off the bench.
Jaguar turnover, pull-up jumper. That one's off, almost an offensive board. It's going to stay with the Jags, though.
One thing that we've talked about throughout the season is the rebounding, and in order to win any type of game, you have to be able to rebound. Rebounding is such a key, especially keeping your opponent from getting those offensive boards and getting them yourself. Second and third chance points, give yourself more of an opportunity to score.
Oh! Xavier Brown taking the roof off of this place.
What can Brown do for you?
Watch out from above. No fly zone. Xavier Brown on that man's head. And a great little jumper there from number 13, Najee Williams, with an answer to Xavier Brown's dunk. Great slam.
Hopefully that gets this team a little spark and moving.
Antoine Gonzalez hacked at a Tiger player, but big time contact before that whistle, and Coach Dial not happy with that no call. Very blatant no call on the referee part, if I have any say in it myself, but there's a reason we are on the broadcaster's table, Marshall, not out there with a whistle. So,
but I agree with you, Cam.
Absolutely.
That was should have been called.
Absolutely, very hard hack on him, but even the Tigers head coach not happy. Antoine Gonzalez, feels like Antoine Gonzalez maybe should have picked up a flagrant foul there, but no grounds for it. Tigers with it here. Miss Brandy Buckner, thank you so much for tuning in and watching the Jaguars Sports Network. And here come the Tigers trying to get working. They're going to call King for a travel.
Miss Brandy Buckner, I agree. Lord, that was a great play by Xavier Brown.
And score is 6-18 Jaguars, trailing by 12. 10 seconds north of 13 left to go in this first half. Fotis Estropoulos checking in the game for the first time this afternoon. And it's with Gabriel Till beyond the arc. Antoine Gonzalez. A little crossover. He's going to get tied up. And it'll be a jump ball.
For two teams towards the bottom of the conference, they're still playing hard. They're still playing like they have a whole season left, and that's what you want to be able to see. And for the Jaguars, they got to be able to put the ball into the net and start getting some stops here.
Absolutely. If they just be able to turn things around a little bit defensively, things might be different. Also getting some of those shots to fall as it's with Harrison now. He's driving on Till. Till's on him like a glove, dishes it down to Limboye.
Good block. Was that Gabriel Till?
I believe that was Gabriel Till. Coach Dial had my view blocked, so two blocks going simultaneously. Gabriel Till and Coach Dial on me. But it's going to stay with the Tigers, and inbounding is Williams. Almost 5 seconds right there, and beyond the arc, letting it fly. That one's number 24, Jordan White. I believe that's his first basket of the game, Marshall.
Yes, it is.
Nothing but nylon there. Antoine Gonzalez, there's that jump stop into that smooth jumper we know and love.
And Fotis Estropoulos with the rebound in the end one.
Send him to the line for a three-point play. Fotis Estropoulos picking up his first basket of the game and sending him going to the charity stripe as well. Jaguars trying to get something going here. 12-17 left to play. And if you're just joining us, Cameron C., Marshall B. on the call for the Jaguar Sports Network in collaboration with Jaguar College Radio as Fotis Estropoulos takes this one in a opportunity to put the Jags in a 12-point reach, and he does. So score is 9-21 and just 10 seconds north of 12 left to go.
Those free throws are going to be very, very important. Always got to knock those down. Even if you're down by a lot, they can really come.
That was a really good basket down low from, I'm not sure who the assist came from, but I think it was number 12, Norris Williams on the finish, and that's going to send the Jaguars into a timeout. And with that music, we're going to go ahead and take a little break.
You'd either hope like a dunk like that or even a nice block.
All right, and coming back from that, Marshall, what are some of your thoughts after a big play from Xavier Brown, but Jaguars still trailing?
That dunk by Xavier Brown, I'm hoping can get the Jaguars going. Right now, still a little discombobulated, but Till.
Gabriel Till with an and one of his own. And he'll go to the line for a three-point play. That foul will be called on Jordan White. Number 24 on the Tigers side, and checking back in is going to be Julian Spotster, and he'll be taking out White.
Good job on Till for being active there.
Just over 30 people watching live on the Jaguar Sports Network, and over 150 people packed into the Student Recreational Center, as we call it, the Jaguar Den. Had great turnout for our women's game beforehand, as well as the inaugural homecoming tailgate we had beforehand, and here come the Tigers the other way and with some speed. That was number 13, Najee Williams, going down hard, and he was fouled by number 14, Felix Grief. Or excuse me, they said number 14, but I don't believe we have a 14. 13, correction. They call that one on Alex Nunnally. And Tigers staying with it. Little 3-ball, that one's off. That one was off by Norris Williams. Alex Nunnally is pulling up on his own. That one's off. No good. Ajan Hadasastrania with the offensive board.
Good hustle, good hustle. Good pass inside the tail. Good pass to Rostropolis. Push shot wouldn't go. And that one will go to the Tigers.
And checking back in for the Tigers is going to be John Harrison, excuse me. He's going to be taking out Richard Limboye. Once again, if just tuning in here, Cameron C., Marshall B. on the call for the Jaguar Sports Network. If you haven't already, drop us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're supporting, whether you're on the Jaguar side or Tiger side. We're happy to have you here in our stream, on our broadcast, and the entirely student-run volunteer sports network here on campus, covering all things Jaguars athletics. And it's with Spolster. That's his first shot of the game. That one's in and out of the rim.
And here comes Hadastranya. I want to see the Jaguars get to the rim. Right now, foul advantage is their way, so they can attack.
Absolutely, 6 fouls, one more, and they're going to be in the bonus, and they're going to pick it up. That'll send the Jaguars into the bonus
for the rest of the half.
So that is 10 minutes, Marshall, of Jaguars being in the bonus. Maybe you can speak on a little bit about what that will mean for the next 10 minutes.
I would definitely not take any outside shots unless you are wide open. Everything needs to be inside, and they'll have an opportunity to slowly but surely crawl back into this game.
Absolutely. Fotis has the opportunity here to put it within a 10-point margin, and he does. So 13-23 is the score. 10 points separating the Tigers and Jaguars. Pastor Chris Ford, Addison, Texas, supporting the Tigers. Happy to have you here, Pastor, and happy to have the presence of the Lord in the stream as well, Marshall. Always good to have the Lord with us. And Addison, Texas, being represented as well. We have viewers from all over the place. We have a number of viewers from all over. And Gabriel Till coming up with that board as Tigers were caught in a little shot clock trouble, but seems like Fotis Stropoulos got called for a travel there. I'm not quite too sure. I didn't see it myself, so referee clearly had a better view on things. And that'll be staying with the Tigers down low. So with just a second north of 9:45 left to play in this first half of exciting basketball.
Unforced turnovers.
And Jaguars stealing that one away. Fotis Stropoulos coming down, a little no-look pass to Paul Minjoth, his German brother, and Gabriel Till able to bounce that one off the head of number 5, Jordan Hicks. It'll stay with the Jags.
Got a paw in there, was able to deflect it. Let's see the Jaguars can capitalize. There's Till to Hadastranya. Hadastranya swings it to Fotis. And he has it stolen. And here comes the other way. All the way up. Missed. And Till with the rebound. The shot was missed by Williams. And here comes Hadastranya charging down. to Fotis, and he turns it right back over, and here comes Harrison the other way. Lead pass up to number 15, Richard Limboy, and he scores 25-13. Just a lot of sloppy basketball right now for the Jaguars, as here we come the other way, and all the way in, and scores is Norris Williams. And that puts the Tigers up 27-13, and the Jaguars will take a timeout with 8:45 left in this first half. Cam, Jaguars looking like they're coming unhinged.
Absolutely, Marshall. I'm not too sure what just happened in these last couple, I wouldn't even say minutes. I would just say in the last 45 seconds to a minute, Marshall. The Jaguars just, as you said, sloppy basketball, not completing their passes, forcing shots, it seems like, and it's reflective in the game. And congratulations, Coach. And right there, we just had Coach Minner walk by our broadcaster's table as he just picked up his last win in the Jaguar Den of the 2024-2025 inaugural season, and making history, making it to the postseason after being projected to go 10th overall in the Red River Athletic Conference. And Lady Jaguars making history, placing 4th after the regular conference was all said and done, and they have themselves a trip to the postseason. So
Absolutely, that's wonderful to be able to go to the postseason in your inaugural season with a winning record. I mean, the ladies were very impressive this year.
And Marshall, you of all people can probably speak to it almost better than anybody. You can speak to how, one, uncommon it is to see a inaugural program reach the postseason, and then also speak on the effect that is not having a number of seasoned players. You know, they only have, I believe, Evan Lorenzo's a junior and Natai Torino's a senior, and I believe they're the only real upperclassmen they have. So maybe you could speak on the importance of having upperclassmen.
Yeah, the upperclassmen, they're vets. They're just like having vets in pro sports. You know, they've been there before. They're the ones that you're going to lean on down the stretch and to kind of help things calm down when you're going to have those opportunities to win some of those games that'll get you into the postseason. So credit to them. And with the rest of the players, they're getting the experience for the future. So it's a win-win for the whole team. And I mean, that's what it comes down to, is having a actual team.
Absolutely, as Marshall said it, and as I mentioned, we only a number of upperclassmen on the ladies' side, and still getting the job done with a number of freshman and sophomore players who, as we said, don't really have the college experience that the upperclassmen bring. And you know, unfortunately, that has kind of been the reflecting case of the men's Jaguar season. But as Marshall and I spoke about beforehand, there's a number of positives to look at from the men's season. You know, the fact that we were able to keep every game within a relatively close margin, kept every game competitive, and as well as keeping this game competitive. But Jaguars down 16 with 8:15 left to play, and it's going to send the Jaguars to the other end of the court. Coach Dial and the referee having a word. There seems to be some discourse going on, ladies and gentlemen. Not sure what all about, but
you know, Cam, this Jaguar team was potentially supposed to look a little bit different. They had a couple of recruits that were supposed to be on the team, but due to some unfortunate circumstances, ended up not being a part of this team. Had they been, we might have seen, you know, a little bit different outcome on the season. Nevertheless, for the guys that were here that put in the hard work every single day, we appreciate them. We appreciate them putting their bodies on the line and the sacrifices that they have made. And going forward, those that will still be here, can't wait to see them back. And those that, you know, are potentially going to maybe even transfer, go somewhere else, we wish them the best. But, you know, they can say what not a lot of people can, is that they had a chance to be a part of an inaugural program.
Absolutely, quite the achievement right there. As that three by Norris Williams is good, and it seems like the Tigers came away with a steal on the Jaguars inbound there. Norris Williams, corner three. That one's off. Rebound, Grief.
He's not afraid to shoot that thing.
Here comes Ajon the other way. Gets that one to go. As Marshall was saying, though, quite the achievement to be a part of an inaugural squad, regardless of the record. You can always have it in you and know that you were a part of history.
For that inaugural club team that we had, very similar to this team here. We had one guy who had played college ball before. The rest were out of high school or may had not played in about a year, so getting conditioned and getting into that home gym and coming together as a team, the cohesion really started to show, and they were able to win.
And Felix Grief fouled hard from behind. Hit him in the head, the referees are saying. It wasn't the contact on the hand, more so the contact on the head. So Felix Grief has the opportunity to put it within a 13-point game. Just 7 seconds south of 7 minutes left to play in this first half. Felix Grief sinks that first one.
One more foul, and Jaguars will be shooting 2 for the rest of the period. And it's a good opportunity for them to try to get this lead below 10 points before the half. They'll put themselves in a good position in the second half to be ready to make a nice comeback.
Come the Tigers the other way, and a good inside pass to number 15, Lemboye. Come the Jags the other way, trailing by 15. Filip Radulovic getting out of harm's way. Ajon Hasastrania driving. And one! Sent him to the line for a three-point play. Felix Grief loving every bit of that. Ajon has an opportunity to put it within 14 for the Jags. Or excuse me, within 12 for the Jags. Referee and Paul Quinn, head coach. Paul Quinn, head coach, is going to be receiving a warning from the referee. Head coach James Stafford not too happy with some of the calls being called on the court. Not being seen on the camera right now. It's just under y'all's view, but main referee and Coach Stafford having some words. Stafford not happy with said call, and as I said, Ajon Hasastrania completes the three-point play. And after that, basket's good. Joshua Larry is going to sub in for Ajon. And checking in for the Tigers as well is number 13, Najee Williams. And he's checking in for number 12, Norris Williams. I wonder if there's any relation there. Considering they're from the same place, I would think so.
The Jaguars have a good opportunity right here. Get a stop. Bring this thing down to 10 or less.
Absolutely, with just a 12-point game here. And a solid crew on the court. Jaguars got to get something going. That looked like a great block from Xavier Brown, but referee saw some contact, and Xavier Brown's not very happy with that one. And that'll send Richard Lemboye to the line for a pair of free throws.
Lemboye in the first matchup hit 2 clutch free throws to give Paul Quinn the win, so he's typically a pretty good free throw shooter.
This game, the first time the Jags and Tigers met up, it ended in a little bit of controversy, Marshall. There was a rather questionable call made on Felix Grief within a second of regulation, and with that, the Tigers were able to sink those 2 free throws and win the game by 1 point. So obviously, Jaguars looking to turn things around here and also looking to get out of last place. If they beat the Paul Quinn Tigers, they can avoid last after some of the way the games have fallen. but nonetheless, still a 14-point game. 1 second south of 6 minutes left in this first half of Red River Athletic Conference play. Last game here in the Jaguar Den for the men's.
There's Brown up to Paul for three.
And Paul Minjoth. That one bounced in and in and in the rim, and it's good for three. Count it.
We got Paul on Paul crime.
All right, go right there as Tigers coming the other way. Filip Radulovic almost stripping that one. Corner three. That one's way off. Rebound by Brown.
Just a bit outside on that one.
Minjoth with it now, the Cologne, Germany native. Him and Griffin. Joshua Larry, a three. That one's good. Nothing but nylon. Count it from Joshua Larry. And now Jaguars cut down their lead, or excuse me, cut down the lead to just 8 points.
Starting to heat up a little bit. And Paul Quinn will call a timeout.
Timeout was called by number 3, Derek Miller. Wanted to talk things over after Jaguars going on a little run. And with 5 seconds north of 5 minutes left to play in this first half, Cameron C., Marshall B. on the Jaguar Sports Network and with Jaguar College Radio, we're going to set it into a little break with this timeout. Coaches talk things over. And we are back after that timeout. Tigers with it, and it's with Derek Miller. Tigers looking to get something going here. Dumps it off to Harrison, covered by Grief. Back to Miller. Miller covered like a glove by Radulovic. That's going to be Tigers' ball, but Jaguars bench. Loving that one, Brandy Buckner. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting your Jaguars. Saying Big Larry, absolutely. Joshua Larry, quite the outstanding player for the Jags, and he's definitely going to be an important player going forward for the Jaguars in the future, as that board is brought down by Xavier Brown, and here come the Jags the other way. Big crossover there. Joshua Larry is going to reset at the top of the key. It's with Felix Grief now back to Larry. Pull up, three. Radulovic, that one's off.
That should have stayed with the Jags, I thought.
Grief, and I believe that was Harrison down low, battling for that board, and bounces off of Felix Grief's hands, and it'll be in the Tigers' possession. Jaguars have 2 more fouls to give before the Tigers are in the bonus.
And still stifling defense by the Jaguars, and there's a steal. Larry up to Paul Minjoth on the Felix Grief. Grief looking post up, gets it back to Minjoth. Minjoth floater, a little short on that one. And rebounded by John Harrison. Here we come the other way.
It's a little too soft there by Minjoth, and great defense by Felix Grief contesting that basket. And it'll be Jaguar ball. If you're just joining us, Cameron C., Marshall B. on the call for the Jaguars Sports Network in collaboration with Jaguar College Radio, an entirely student-run volunteer sports network here on the campus of A&M San Antonio. And if you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to. And as I said, entirely student-run network. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Help us reach our goal of hitting 800 subscribers, double that actually. 800 subscribers, and a big-time block by Jordan Harrison on Felix Grief, but Xavier Brown lets one go from beyond the arc, and that one's no good. They're going to call a foul on, I believe it's going to be Felix Grief. Yes, that's going to be on Felix Grief, and with that, that'll be the 6th team foul, and that's his first personal. And if you haven't already, we invite you also to let us know where you're chatting from and who you're supporting. We're happy to have everyone and any viewer, whether it's Jaguars or Tigers fans alike. Marshall, we are happy to have everyone here.
We absolutely are. It's been a fun season calling these games, Cam.
Very fun season. One for learning as well, and Tigers swinging the ball well, but that three ball is just short.
Miller's a little light on that one, man.
Jaguars ball.
Here comes
Jaguars,
Josh.
8-point deficit right now. They've cut it from being down by 15, 16 points. 3 minutes left. Let's see if they can get it down a little bit more before the half. They're right in with this, with Radulovic missing on that one. But the rebounded, nice tipped around by Grief.
Paul Minjoff, deep three, letting it fly. That one's off, but a rebound by
Brown.
Xavier Brown. He gets fouled hard, and he's not happy with that one. Pops up in an instant, I should say. And he was fouled by Derek Miller. And coming back to the score saver is going to be Ajan Hadis-Estrania as well as Alex Nunnally. Looks like Joshua Larry will probably be checking back out, and as well as Filip Radulovic.
And Xavier Brown is out there, as the lyrics go, hustling, because he is definitely hustling to get those boards. And knocks down that first free throw. Those all important free throws.
Substitutions for the Jaguars. Number 13, Alex Nunnally.
Looks like Alex Nunnally, looks like Paul Minjoth, rather, and Filip Radulovic. Joshua Larry just having a word with Coach Dial as Xavier Brown shoots his second free throw. Xavier Brown solid from the charity stripe, 2 for 2. And it's a 6-point game, Marshall.
Yep. And it's almost a turnover. It is almost a turnover.
Felix Grief unable to come away with that one after that sloppy pass from the Tigers. And here come the Tigers the other way. And it's with number 15, Limboy. Back to Williams. King.
An offensive foul on
Radulovic, not happy with something on the court right now. He had to have one of his teammates hold him back from yelling something. Not sure what it was. Bit of a moment of competitive spirit, if you will, Marshall.
Yeah.
And here come the Jags the other.
And there's Asian Hadis-Estrania back to Joshua Larry. Larry drives, goes all the way in, but he is fouled. Attack the rim. Attack the rim. This is getting the Jaguars right back into this game. That foul count is really benefiting them.
Absolutely, being in the double bonus. 2 shots regardless, and that's going to send Joshua Larry to the line. That hard foul, I believe it was Julian Sposter that was called for it. Spotzer, excuse me. Larry at the charity stripe. Free throw is going to be a pretty big factor in this game, Marshall.
Yes, it is, as he misses the first one. Commentators jinx.
I didn't want to say it, but that we had been, Tony and myself had at least 2 to 3 instances in the women's game where I mentioned a a percentage of free throw shooting, and sure enough, they missed the next one. But that free throw is good by Joshua Larry. And here come the Tigers the other way with just 3 seconds north of 2 left to play in the first half.
5-point game. So far, they've done a good job about keeping Norris Williams in check for the most part.
Absolutely. I feel like he hasn't had, I mean, while he has scored, I feel like it hasn't been an extreme number, keeping him within a relatively respectable amount of points. The standout guard, and wow, an amazing move there by number 15, Limboy, spinning through the
He's put
contact.
On a solid first half. Brown, Brown attacking the rim. Thought he might go upstairs again.
Looked like another dunk there. Miss Melissa, thank you so much for the correction on Asian's name. I believe I had the pronunciation correct at some point earlier in the season. I might have resorted back to how I was calling it, so I do apologize for that. It's pronounced Asian. And here come the Jags the other way. 5-point game, 9 seconds north of a minute left to go. As we said, thank you everybody for tuning in and supporting the Jaguars Sports Network. If you haven't already, drop us a comment, drop us a like, and hit that subscribe button, as we are an entirely student-run network, entirely student volunteers, as Felix Grief getting things going.
There's Asian. Dribbles, drives all the way in. Just a little bit too hard on that layup.
Absolutely. Asian with a beautiful finger roll layup, trying to get it to go off the glass, but as Marshall said, just a little too hard. And pull-up three from King is good. Nothing but nylon. And that's going to put the
That one hurt.
Tigers up by 8. Might be what they needed to go into halftime, Marshall, as Asians bringing it up the court here, electing to not rush anything. There's a little 9-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Alex Nunnally letting it fly. Why not? Alex Nunnally, count it from beyond the arc.
We're back to a 5-point game. Tigers will hold for the last shot. Jaguars make a stand here to stop them from scoring before the half.
Just 2 seconds left. What's he got? Got to have something. Gets it to go, but can't get it to fall off the glass. And with that, after your first half of Red River Athletic Conference play, the Texas A&M University San Antonio Jaguars 36, the Paul Quinn College Tigers 41, 5 points separating the home team from the away team in the last game here in the Den. Marshall, what are your thoughts so far on that first half?
Great close by the Jaguars. Lacked some energy in the beginning, but attacked the rim. That foul count worked in their favor, and they were able to close it. Great hustle by Joshua Larry off the bench and Xavier Brown. I mean, they looked really good bringing this team back. Coming into the second half, they're going to need to continue to keep Norris Williams in check and make sure that they're also able to get on those boards. Not too bad discrepancy of rebounding, but want to make sure that we're continuing and able to control those and get those offensive. More chances you get yourself to score, the better chance you have to win.
Absolutely, and we're going to go ahead and send it into a little halftime break as we have some inaugural homecoming festivities going on, so keep it right here. We're going to leave our audio on as well. And Cameron C. and Marshall B. on the call for the Jaguar Sports Network in collaboration with Jaguar College Radio. Keep it right here.
Welcome home to Ryan Bergman and his family, the first ever alumnus to be recognized at our inaugural homecoming. Joining him on the court is our athletic director, Darnell Smith, as we extend our heartfelt gratitude for his dedication and support. Jaguar Nation, let's make some noise for the Bergman family.
were chosen to be a participant in the half-court shot, please come down to the court. If you were chosen as a participant to be part of the half-court shot, please come to the court now. All right, the object of the game is each participant's going to get one shot and one shot only to make the infamous half-court shot. If a student actually makes the shot, they will actually receive a custom Texas A&M University San Antonio basketball jersey. So, Jaguar fans, put your hands together for the first contestant. Archer's going to take the court. We're going to count down 3, 2, 1, and he gets to take his shot. So go ahead and take the half court. All right, we're gonna go start. In 3, 2, 1, let's go! Whoa, so close! All right, up next we have is Chris. It's your turn, one shot only. We're going to count you back down from 3 all the way to 1. Last contestant of the season. You ready? In 3, 2, 1, let's go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and after halftime break, we are back with some more exciting Red River Athletic Conference basketball between your Texas A&M University San Antonio Jaguars taking on the Paul Quinn College Tigers. And on behalf of the Jaguar Sports Network in collaboration with Jaguar College Radio, my name is Cameron M. Caldwell, and I have the honor and privilege of being joined alongside the alumni, broadcaster, and basketball pioneer.
Marshall Best the second. Sorry, Ken, didn't mean to cut you off there.
No worries at all, Marshall. Just trying to give you the proper introduction you deserve. And here we go. Jaguars coming into the second half, trailing by 5, looking to turn things around for their last game here in the Den. And Marshall, for the people that were not here and our halftime break, what are some of the Jaguars' keys to success in this second half?
Well, one of them is right there is Asian Hadarshanya is going to go to the line, get the foul count up again, get the Tigers into foul trouble. The Jaguars, for the most part, took care of their business at the free throw line, and they're able to put pressure on the Tigers, as well as making sure that they're taking care of the ball. There's a stretch there in the early part of the first half where they were just turning the ball over, some unforced turnovers that really put the Jaguars in a hole, but they were able to claw themselves back into this game.
Absolutely, as Asian's at the line. We're getting ready to drop his second here, and he does.
Now, on the flip side, if you're the Tigers, you want to make sure that you can get Norris Williams into this game. He hasn't been too much of a factor, but he is clearly their best player, not afraid to shoot. Supporting cast has been really helping out, as Williams right there misses that 3, but the supporting cast has definitely helped out. You had Miller, number 3, who's put in a nice first half, along with Richard Limbaugh, number 15. And here comes Radulovic inside to Grief. Grief right back out to Hadarshanya for 3, just a bit too strong.
That one's off. Tigers the other way. Rebound by Williams. And great little move, but even better defense, and it's going to be a little bit of a late whistle there, but it is going to be a foul on Felix Grief, and that will send number 1, John Harrison, to the line in the Jaguar Den, letting the referee know that whistle was a little late, Marshall.
Yes, that was. And pick up ball, we say you got to call it when it happens. And normally we would start an argument where we would have to shoot for the ball, or
a little bit more organized than that, but Harrison can't drop his first one. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in and supporting the Jaguar Sports Network, the entirely student-run volunteer sports network here on the beautiful campus of A&M San Antonio. And if you haven't already, we invite you to drop us a comment, chat with us, let us know who you're supporting and where you're chatting from, if there's a specific player or team. We're happy to have everybody here as the Tigers steal one away. This one's going to Harrison. He might slam this one home, and he does. A big-time slam dunk for
Harrison.
John Harrison, slamming it home, the sophomore out of Forney, Texas, excuse me.
Harrison threw that one down. And Xavier Brown forcing the issue and draws a foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Score is correct now. We just got that corrected. Sorry, folks. Had a little bit of a little glitch there on our scoreboard, but the score is correct now, 38-44, and Xavier Brown has the opportunity to put it into a 4-point game with just 2 seconds south of 18 and a half, and he can't sink the first one.
Like my saying goes, these free throws are so important. It's the difference of you losing by 1 or winning by 4.
And both free throws no good from Brown. And Tigers on the offensive. Coming the other way, it's Williams. Trying to get something going. Finds King inside, but a little miscommunication. It's with Minjoth. Asian.
To Paul. Minjoth for 3, misses that one. And rebounded by King. Here come the other way. Miller inside. Oh, nice fake there.
Great
by
reverse
Richard
layup.
Limbaugh.
Absolutely faking the Jaguars defenders, making Felix Grief go for a jump and getting that basket to go in the reverse layup.
It's now an 8-point Tiger lead.
And Jaguars with some sloppy basketball. They turn that one over. And
there
a
goes
nice
that guy.
hesitation.
There goes that guy, Norris Williams. You do not want to get him going.
Absolutely not the player you want to let get hot. Jaguars did a decent enough job holding Norris Williams off in the first half of play. And Asian's going to let one go for three.
Asian for three.
Asian letting it fly from beyond the arc. Count it.
They shot that one from Jaguar Parkway.
Absolutely, as that jumper from Williams is no good, but the rebound inside from King, he dishes it off to Harrison, but Harrison smokes 2 layups. And here comes Jaguars the other way, and that pass, a little too much on it from Brown. A lot of frustration coming from both sides.
A little too much mustard on that one. That was a little bit too much mustard.
It's going to be Tigers ball with a 7-point lead, 16:51 left to play.
Don't get me wrong, I do like mustard, but you put too much mustard on a sandwich, it takes away from the flavor.
Gotta say, Marshall, mustard is on my non-negotiables. Can't stand it. And clearly, that right there had a little too much. But here come the Tigers, and that 3 is off. Almost recovering it. A little bit of brotherly love there on the bench. Williams running into his teams on the sideline. He's okay, though. They're okay. Everybody's okay. We've picked up about 12 subscribers since we started broadcasting, and I'd like to say thank you so much to everyone who is supporting the student volunteer initiative that is the Jaguar Sports Network. As I had mentioned, everyone here on the team is a student volunteer with the exception of Marshall. He comes in just on game days, though, to help us out. So Marshall helps us on game days, but all the heavy lifting and all of the organization and all of the behind the scenes is entirely students doing it out of the love and passion of our heart. And here we go, the Jaguars bringing it up the court. Asian drops it off to Filip Radulovic. Grief calling for it inside. He wanted it, and he got it. Felix Grief working, has to dish it out. 3 ball.
Asian!
Nothing but nylon from Asian. Has Hasranya. Count it!
He's heating up. And here's Harrison. Good defense by Grief, but Harrison's able to keep it. Gives it out to Bo. And there is Williams inside for an and 1.
That's Norris Williams. Them hit to the line for a possible 3-point play. They're going to call that foul on, I want to say, Felix Grief, picking up his 2nd or 3rd of the competition, and checking in is Fotis Estropoulos, checking in for number 2, Xavier Brown. Xavier Brown not happy. Whether it's with being checked out or with the play that just occurred, I'm not too sure, but
looks like Brown picked up the foul. That was his 3rd.
I would have to think it's with the call, and that free throw is good. Paul Quinn, head coach James Stafford, having some words for the head official, Marshall, and I have to be honest, it's been that way for the entire game.
It definitely has. Some stuff he doesn't like. As Asian is fouled on the 3-pointer, he is going ahead and letting it fly, as he's been the hot hand so far in this second half, and he'll go to the line, Asian, to shoot. Thought it might have been 3. It might be a long 2. And that foul was on Malcolm King, his 4th.
Getting in a little bit of foul trouble early on in the second half, Marshall, especially with a player as detrimental as King. You have to assume, and absolutely, they're going to go ahead and check him out, and as well as Paul Minjoth, he's going to be checked out for Alex Nunnally, and Filip Radulovic checked out for Antoine Gonzalez. And Asian at the line here. Can't get the second one to fall. Fotis Estropoulos down low, battling for the board, but it's rebounded by Harrison. Tigers on the offense. Here comes Miller. Miller's jumper's no good. Offensive board by the Tigers, though, and that's Harrison. His jumper's off as well. Rebound by Gonzalez. 7-point game. Jaguars trying to get something going. Three-pointer. Fotis Estropoulos, no good. And they're going to call.
Looks like a foul on Grief. That'll be his third.
They're calling off the ball foul on Felix Grief, and with that, he's going to be checked out for Gabriel Till. Asian Hadis Astrana is going to be checked out for Joshua Larry. Felix Grief not happy with that call as well. A number of calls that the Jaguars not happy with. Normally, I have to be honest, Marshall, we see them a little bit more receptive. You know, they'll look over to Coach Dial, and if Coach Dial kind of gives them the nod like, yes, it was, then they'll be okay with it. But even with that today, it just seems like a little more frustration out of the Jaguars.
I think they're able to be a little bit more emotional. This is the last game of the season, so there's not a whole lot of consequences moving forward for this season, for potential games missed, even text. I mean, this is the last game.
Absolutely understandable. As we had mentioned, Jaguars in their inaugural season, a historic one and a number of historic firsts, but one historic first will not be making it to the postseason like the Lady Jaguars. The men's Jaguars season is going to be ending today. And Paul Quinn and Jaguars, though, fighting to stay out of last place, Marshall, so obviously something to fight for.
Nice pass.
Great pass. I'm not sure by who, but Limboy was on the finish. That was Williams to Limboy. Amazing pass down low and getting that basket to go off the glass. 11 points is the margin now, Marshall.
Back into a double-digit deficit. Jaguars going away with what got them back into this game. Good hustle by Till and Estropoulos. Can't really tell. Looks like Till and Miller got tied up. And the ball will stay with the Tigers. So the Jaguars gotten a little sloppy, kind of like the first half, right around this time. Got to take care of the ball.
Absolutely.
They'll dig themselves right into the same hole that they were just in.
Not taking care of things, and some visible frustration on the face of Coach Dial. Not happy with this referee here, and just very visibly frustrated. I'm not sure what exactly the conversation was that was being had, but Coach Dial, hands on his face, not happy right now. And here come the Tigers the other way. Corner three. He didn't take it. That was Jordan White. And
looks like the foul's on Antoine Gonzalez. It'll be his second.
11 points is the deficit still, with 2 seconds south of 13 and a half left in this second half in the Jaguar den. Filip Radulovic giving a lot of direction from the bench, something that I'm not used to hearing.
What a move.
Amazing move.
Norris Williams showing you why he is the leading scorer on this team. Antoine Gonzalez is fouled.
Big time foul there. That's going to send Antoine Gonzalez to the line for a pair.
We got the same number on the clock right now, 13-13 left in this game, Cam.
And 4 fouls each side.
And the deficit is 13.
Now, I don't know if you're one for superstition. I don't know if the people listening are one for superstition, but if you are, it might mean something. I'm not sure.
Well, this goes with what Stevie Wonder said. Very superstitious. Writing on the wall, as we see on the scoreboard.
Here we are, 13-point deficit, 13-13 on the clock, 4 sides, 4 fouls aside. And Jaguars looking to turn things around once again. Still some time to get it done, though, Marshall, and there goes that magic number.
And here comes Miller bringing up the ball, picked up by Gonzalez.
And Gonzalez doing a great job moving his feet, staying with him. Great footwork and staying on him like a glove. Fotis is covering up Jordan Hicks. And it's with
there
Williams.
Goes that guy, Williams, but he misses it. Nunnally Till ends up with the rebound. And here comes Joshua Larry. Outlet to Nunnally for three, and he
that
knocks
one's
it
good.
down.
Nothing but nylon from Alex Nunnally. Why not let it fly? 9-point game, 49-58.
And
Here
comes
comes
Harrison.
Harrison.
Williams, he's going to
shot.
take one of his own. He's off right now.
Rebound.
Till with the board. And here comes Gonzalez the other way. Cam, we got a chance here.
Absolutely. Jaguars, never been ones just to roll over and let things go. And rebound by Till, great fight. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to stay with the Jags. And Coach Stafford is absolutely
Beside himself.
psyched about one of his players. Something to do with rebounds, not too sure, but I'd hate to be on the receiving end of that. Joe Buck says we're going to lose if we don't stop this selfishness. The ball can't touch one person's hands on a possession. I'm assuming he means on the Tigers side. But thank you for tuning in and supporting your Tigers regardless. And I'd love to have your input. And here come the Jaguars. 5 on the shot clock. Till's got to get something going. Alex Nunnally letting it fly.
Why not?
Alex Nunnally, that's 2 back-to-back threes. Count it. And that's going to send the
Tigers.
Tigers into a timeout. 52-58, 6-point game, 11:45 left to play. Marshall,
Nunnally shot that one from NC State.
I'm telling you, he shot it from back where he came from, the NC State Division I transfer. Joe Buck says we get buckets when the ball moves. Absolutely. Tigers done a very good job this game, Marshall, of moving the ball around, or maybe he was, whether you're meaning that for the Tigers or the Jaguars, both is true. I mean, you know, when the Jaguars aren't rushing their shots and are just making the right passes, finding the open man, and just being
not
patient.
turning the ball over.
Absolutely, just being patient, not turning the ball over. Good things happen, and as you can see, Jaguars within 6 here. As we said, 11:45 left, plenty of time to make things happen.
So Cam, we're gonna see here in the next 11:45 who has the better bite. Will it be the Jaguars or will it be the Tigers?
Absolutely, it's going to come down to the wire here. Both teams fighting to stay out of last place, and here come the Tigers with no hesitation the other way. It's with Derek Miller bringing the ball up the court. Pump fake, little miscommunication there. Tigers okay with it. Fotis Estropoulos doing a great job closing him out. It's Limboy. Back to Harrison. Harrison driving, covered by Till, and they're going to call Gabriel Till on a foul. And Till knew that one was being called.
I believe that is his third. That was on his first.
His first personal, team's 5th.
Joe Buck and Michelle Buckner, thank you so much for tuning in and chatting with us. Absolutely right. Jaguars make great things happen when they move that ball, and need to see some more of that. 6 points, as we said, separating them, and it's White. Tosses it out to Williams. Back to Harrison. Harrison inside with an easy little jumper. Counted for 2.
Talk about the shooter's bounce right there.
Absolutely just died on the rim. Rolled right in. Joshua Larry coming the other way. Great screen by Gabriel Till, and a hard foul down low.
Larry, a little upset with himself. He knew he should have made that one.
Absolutely, we would have loved to complete the three-point play. Alex Nunnally having a word with him about it, and absolutely, Buckner's deep in the chat. We have 2 Buckners here in our chat. Marshall, happy to have the Buckner family here, if you will, and supporting your Jaguars as Joshua Larry gearing up to take 2 from the charity stripe. And he gets the first one to drop. It's still a single-digit deficit.
And the Joe Buck and the Buckners all going for the Jaguars. We appreciate you guys.
So we said if you're Jaguar fans or Tiger fans, we're happy to have you here on the Jaguar Sports Network.
Absolutely.
Says Joshua Larry is ours. Love to see that. Thank you so much for supporting Joshua Larry, the standout and impactful guard on the Jaguars side. We have more than a strip down low, but just too much of an easy bucket down though.
That was an unfortunate bounce there. Bounced around. Fotis played some good defense, but it ended up in the hands of Limboy, and he is continuing to have himself a solid game.
Absolutely. Joshua Lair, great pass down low to Antoine Gonzalez, but they're going to call an offensive foul. They're going to say that Harrison's feet were set. Antoine Gonzalez not happy. Alex Nunnally trying to rally the troops. Coach Dial not happy either, and have to assume the Buckner's not happy as well. We have 3 Buckners here in the chat, Miss Shantae Buckner, Brandy Buckner, and Mr. Joe Buckner, excuse me. And supporting there, Joshua Larry. Love to have y'all here, love to see that. And here come the here come the Tigers. Corner 3 is no good from Derek Miller. Rebound by Till. He must be in the double digits of rebounds at this point. Alex Nunnally in the corner. I know the Nunnally family is here. Oh, excuse me, and Miss Michelle Buckner. Sorry, I believe I had said that, but I apologize if I didn't. But
Substitution for the Jaguars.
Joshua Larry checking out for Asian Hadasastranya, and it's going to stay within the Tigers' possession. Cameron C., Marshall B. on the call for the Jaguars Sports Network in collaboration with Jaguar College Radio. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And if you're just joining us, 54-62, 8 points separate. That should be a travel. Okay, and it is. A bit of a miscommunication from Williams, or excuse me, from Limboy.
Substitution.
Fotis checking in, or excuse me, Fotis checking out for Paul Minjoff. Absolutely, Shantae Buckner says, stop playing with my child, Joshua Larry. Joshua Larry is, I like to say, he's the man. He's one of the men on this team, one of the standout guards that always makes a difference in these games, as he was checked out for Asian. Asian with it now, driving. Kicks it out, Alex Nunnally. Almost 3 for 3 for threes, but great rebound by Till. And we're going to count that one. Joshua Larry on the bench, happy with that one. 6-point game, Marshall. 9 minutes left to play.
Great job being active on that glass.
Pull up. Miller. That one's good. Nothing but nylon.
Miller with the silky shot on that one, man.
Absolutely. Asian says
from deep.
I can pull up as well.
Oh.
Asian Hadasastranya.
He shot that one from 410.
Letting that one fly. Why not? Count it. And somehow they're going to call a push on Paul Minjoff.
Ooh.
They're going to call a
push?
I don't know
about that one.
Didn't say the official call, and when talking to the scores table, it didn't seem like he was too sure either, but nonetheless.
That'll put the Jaguars in over the foul limit, so shooting the rest of the way will be the Tigers. They missed the free throw. Inside to Paul Minjoff, looking, gives it to Antoine Gonzalez, and he loses it. And here comes the boy the other way. Good defense by Asian Hadasastranya as he gets the block in. Here he comes the other way. And he's looking, gives it to Gonzalez.
Pulls up from deep. That one's off, out of the rim.
And
Here come the Tigers the other way, number 15, Limboy. Great bucket by him. Great deceleration and control of the body, getting that one to go in off the glass. And Gonzalez picks up some contact, but no whistle.
Oh, and there's
Tigers
Limboy again. And he slams that one home.
Limboy slamming that one home. 7:45 left, 10-point game.
And
They're going to call a technical foul on, it sounded like Antoine Gonzalez, number 4. We're not sure why. Yeah. It sounds like maybe Antoine Gonzalez had a little something to say to the referee. And the referee did not take too kindly to that. Alex Nunnally trying to get it sorted.
And Williams went to the line to shoot and misses the first one. That's the 4th personal, Antoine Gonzalez. And Williams missed both of them. Ball don't lie.
Ball does not lie. And with that, I'm not sure if Antoine Gonzalez is going to check out. He is, so he's going to check out. And Xavier Brown's going to check in. Alex Nunnally's going to check out as well.
Is Philip Rabdulovic as well.
Would that be considered a unsportsmanlike flagrant, or excuse me, an unsportsmanlike technical, or how would that be if he was communicating with the ref in a way, Marshall?
Seems like an unsportsmanlike technical, and that goes towards your personal foul count. So, as Rabdulovic.
Well, Philip Rabdulovic says, I have an answer for that one, nothing but nylon on that 3, letting it fly, and Tigers coming the other way, 7-point game with just 7:15 left to play.
Ooh, nice drive by Harrison. And here's Hadorastranya to Brown. Brown to Rabdulovic, back to Hadorastranya. Thought about the shot. Passes to Minjoff. Minjoff inside to Till. Till looking, gives it to Rabdulovic. Rabdulovic drives all the way in, and Rabdulovic scores.
Rabdulovic nice and easy with his off-dominant hand, Marshall, off the glass. He's trying to make a statement here. He wasn't happy with that technical that was called, and he came in letting everyone know.
And Harrison for 3 of his own misses. And here comes Brown. Brown going to the hole, gives it to Till, and Till is fouled.
And that'll send Gabriel Till to the charity stripe for a pair. Felix Grief at the scorer's table, getting ready to check in, presumably for Gabriel Till after he shoots his free throws. 6:27 left, 3 seconds south of 6.5 in this last home game and last game in the den for the men. And the Jaguars going to go ahead and take a 30-second timeout.
And looks like we'll go ahead and take a quick timeout ourselves, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned on Jaguar Sports Network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, after that timeout, here we are, Cameron C., Marshall B. on the call, and Marshall with a 7-point deficit. What do you think the Jags need to get going here in these last 6.5 if they want to get this thing turned around in their last game in the den?
Take care of the ball. Too many unforced turnovers. I mean, they're starting to knock down their shots. They're attacking the rim. So too many turnovers is hurting them right now. They're able to minimize those. defensively they look pretty good, and free throws. They'll be able to get a dub in this one.
Absolutely, as Gabriel Till is unable to sink that first one. Every free throw counts.
And Till makes the second one. And he'll sub out as Felix Grief comes in.
And Gabriel Till checking out for Felix Grief, as we said. Here come the Tigers the other way. Corner three, just kidding. Then boy, Alexa.
And Coach Dial wanted it to be a travel as Williams gets to boy. Back to White. White looking for three, no good.
I really like that move that he did there, though, Marshall, letting his player run around him, kind of fake out the pass, and then electing to just pull up the shot, but obviously no good.
Yep.
Here comes Asian the other way. 6-point game, a second north of 550. Radulovic beyond the arc. He has Asian. Asian pulls up from three. That one's off. Rebound by White. Here come the Tigers the other way. White's bringing it down the court. He might elect to pull up a three, and he won't.
They're swinging around to the corner. Miller for three.
And corner three from Derek Miller. Nothing but net. Count that one.
He hits his second one of the second half. Hadarstani all the way in, misses that layup.
Great little gather move right there, and Felix Grief trying to get on the putback. Wasn't good, but it's going to stay with the Jags on their half, and 5:15 exactly.
Jordan White checking out. Number 11, Malcolm King coming in. We got King playing on the Tigers. We call him a Tiger King.
We might have to. Great move by Felix Grief, and he gets fouled hard by John Harrison. Harrison's not happy with that one, but that was clear as day. We could see it. See that one from here, Marshall.
Yeah, that might be his fourth, and it is. Now, Jaguars will be shooting free throws the rest of the way as well.
And Tigers have some of their own cheer section here in the Jaguar Den. Some fans that are getting loud in our own house, and Julian Spotster is going to be checking in for John Harrison. Once again, thank you all so much for tuning in, the Buckner clan, as well as any Jaguar and Tiger fan alike. We're happy to have you here on the Jaguar Sports Network. Cameron C., Marshall B. on the entirely student-run volunteer network. Calling our last game here in the Den, Marshall. A bit of a bittersweet moment, but historic first all around.
Yeah, it has been a great season full of ups and downs, but at the end of the day, all building blocks.
Absolutely. Both programs heading for bigger and better things. The men unable to make the playoffs in their inaugural season, as that jumper is good by Williams. But the Lady Jaguars, after their win today, they were already in the playoffs, but after their win today, secured their fourth place seed to make the postseason in their inaugural season after they were projected to go 12th out of 13 teams. And Felix Radulovic, nothing but nylon from beyond the arc. Why not let it fly, says Filip Radulovic.
All those threes the Jaguars have been shooting are finally paying off as a tough move by Williams, Norris Williams. I mean, this is the reason why he's one of the best scorers in the conference.
Absolutely. Norris Williams currently sitting at second overall in the conference with 19.1 points per game. Quite the impressive feat in and of itself. Felix Grief on the inside trying to get something going, using his body. Blocked! Big time blocked by Spotster. And with 3:30 left to play, Marshall, time is dwindling down. 10 points is the deficit, rather. And Jaguars got to get something going.
Yeah.
Both teams in the bonus, so whether it's threes or driving, difference is there. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Has to get something going in a hard. Xavier Brown goes down hard, and
Heck of a move by Williams.
no whistles called. Williams, great move there. No whistle there. No foul. Xavier Brown says he's good. Waves off Coach Dial. Coach Dial calls a timeout in the event he needed some time because that was a very hard fall there, Marshall.
It was. But good thing that he's okay. Cam, right now, 12-point game with 11 seconds north of 3 minutes, and it's starting to get tougher for the Jaguars. They need to get this thing within a few points, right around the 1:30 to 2-minute mark for them to have a chance of winning this.
Absolutely, as you said it, 12 points separate Jags and Tigers. And quite the game so far.
Absolutely.
If you're new to the Jaguars Sports Network, do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button and help us hit our goal of 800 subscribers by the end of the semester. We just launched not even 6 months ago, and we have over 750 subscribers as well. And do us a favor as well. Follow us on Instagram at Jaguars Sports Network. We cover all things Jaguar sports, live streaming, broadcasting, live commentary, news desk features, video stories, digital stories, social media content, everything Jaguar athletics, as well as rec sports and a number of other things we cover on campus. Jaguar Sports Network, the main hub for all things Jaguar sports. Cameron C., Marshall B. on the call. And as well as Jaguar College Radio. We're in collaboration with them. We're calling the game live on the radio station, another student-run organization here on campus. And 3:11 left on the clock. Both teams in the bonus. 12 points separate Jags and Tigers. Asian trying to get something going. Little reverse layup. Up and under, I should say. And no good, but he is going to go to the charity stripe for a pair.
All important free throws right here now. You definitely got to make these.
Stepping to the line, number 10, shooting 2.
And his first one, as he lines it up, is good. Asians had a pretty solid outing today in double figures.
Paul Quinn Tigers have a number of fans in the crowd here, getting a little loud, trying to throw it off Asian, but doesn't matter. He's solid from the charity stripe, Marshall.
Yes, he is.
And 3 minutes left, 10 points separating Tigers and Jags. Jaguars press starting to work here. Tigers looking to break it. They do. Jaguars playing a zone defense. Corner 3 from Miller. That one's off, but an offensive rebound. And very smart basketball right there from the Tigers, electing to hold it up. Don't need to force anything. 12 on the shot clock. Still 2:30 on game clock. Don't need to rush any shots here. Up 10. Got to let one fly,
there's a
though.
guy you don't want to leave open. Williams, and he knocks it down.
A wide open corner 3. Norris Williams letting that one fly and making the Jaguars pay. And a tough move there from Asian, but can't get it to go off the glass. Tough bounce there off the rim. 13 points, 2 minutes.
It feels like this one's starting to get a little away from the Jaguars' grasp now.
Absolutely, as time is winding down, and
Miller slashes in. It's a 15-point Tiger lead right now. Here's Xavier Brown. Thought about the 3. Gives it to Asian.
Asians with it now beyond the arc. Thank you so much, Victoria, for chatting with us. And that's a Felix Grief turnover, a steal in the favor of Miller, and an easy layup from Williams.
Norris Williams. And there's Asian for 3, no good. Grief with the board, and he's fouled.
We're going to call Richard Lemboy on the foul, and he fouled Felix Grief. Felix Grief will head to the charity stripe for 2 with 1:18 left to play. 17 points separating the Jags and Tigers and Marshall with just 1:15 left. Not looking too good for the Jags.
Yeah. Weren't able to take care of the ball down the stretch. Got close within 3 to 5 points, and then
with that, the Tigers going to go ahead and take off their primary starters. Checking in is for some garbage minutes here. Number 20, Joanne Bennett. That's his first check-in of the game. And Julian Spotster, he's checking in as well. Finish out this last minute 18 in the Jaguar den. Felix Grief unable to sink that free throw. Pull up by Spotster. That one's good. Nothing but nylon. Putting the nail in the coffin here in the Jaguar den. And great game played by both teams, though. It stayed relatively close throughout the competition, Marshall. And lead changed, I believe, a couple times. Obviously, the Tigers were ahead for most of it, but ending here, it's 55 seconds left. Felix Grief will head to the line, has an opportunity to put it within 18 at least, but
yeah.
Alejandro Silva, I do not have official word on Journey Phillips. I know that he just not dressing out, unfortunately. I'm not sure the official reason, but not on the bench, not dressing out. And Felix Grief drops those 2 free throws. It'll be an 18-point game, and Tigers can sort of just hold it out here. Don't really need to do anything. Still have the shot clock on, though, and Spotster's going to like to shoot. That one's way off. 11 seconds separating game clock and shot clock. Xavier Brown, he'll pull up. That one's in and out. Rebound. Jags, that one's good from Joseph Taylor. And after that basket, it's going to be 29.8 left on the clock, so shot clock will turn off. Excuse me, they're going to reset it, I believe, to 31 seconds and 0.5, so there will be a 1 second difference between game clock and shot clock.
Again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in throughout the whole season. We, the Jaguars Student Network, Jaguar Sports Network, have enjoyed bringing these games to you. I'm very proud to be a part of this, seeing what the program has grown into and seeing what it's going to continue to grow to within the future.
Absolutely.
It's in good hands.
Absolutely, Marshall. We appreciate those kind words, both on our behalf and for the basketball squad. And with 31 seconds left, as I mentioned, 31 seconds, 1 second separating game clock and shot clock. And I also would like to thank everybody tuning in for a great season of Jaguar basketball. And although as Marshall and I said, we had our ups and downs. Alex Nunnally in and out for 3. Although we had our ups and downs, the Jaguars, it was a historic first season and one for the record books. The Jaguars will unfortunately not advance to the playoffs, so this will be their last outing of the season. We are very proud of our Jaguars and all the hard work that they have done. We could not thank them enough for giving us the opportunity to come out and commentate on their games and putting on the amazing show and all the effort that they do, all the training, and it's very hard being a student athlete. I myself was a student athlete. I played soccer for the university here for a year, so I know what it's like to be a student athlete as well as Marshall does. So tough stuff being a student athlete, and although it was a rough season, Jaguars have nothing to hang their head about. Lady Jaguars will be advancing to the playoffs, but not playing here in the den. So this would be our last ever, or not last ever broadcasting. Not last ever broadcast for basketball, but last one for the season. So once again, On behalf of the Jaguar Sports Network and Jaguar College Radio, my name is Cameron M. Caldwell. I've been joined here with alumni and basketball pioneer
Marshall Best. Second, we want to thank the crew behind the scenes as well.
Absolutely. We'd like to thank our president, Brian Lopez, for making sure we run a tight ship. We'd like to thank our social media and Marcom director, Nevenka Gomez, for making sure all of our social media is set. We'd like to thank our technical director and co-commentator, Tony Talamantes, for keeping things smooth over there. We'd also like to thank Natalie Navarrete, one of our photographers and camera operators, and as well as Josue Mendoza. Thank you so much to him for all the work he's done. And we're going to go ahead and cut it. Cameron Caldwell, Marshall Best, on behalf of the Jaguar Sports Network, thank you all so much for an amazing season. And be sure to subscribe and keep it right here.